everybody. You enjoyed today's video. I'm going to be doing something a little different this time around. I was inspired by Popcross Studios videos to add some lore to my art videos. I definitely suggest checking out some of the awesome videos over on Popcross Studios channel. Now let's get into the video. Hidden away in the jungles of the land of the Garten, there lives an odd dragon called the Two-Tone Jester. This dragon is flightless but extremely flexible and a good climber. They are able to mimic human voices, yet for whatever reason typically only ever repeat bad puns. This species is incredibly social, often seeking socialization with other species, though many appear to consider them annoying. The species nearly went extinct when a curse terrorized the Garten. Luckily, a few escaped, and thanks to the fact that the ability to asexually reproduce, they continue to roam the jungles to this day. While observing two-tone jesters, you may see individuals with only a single color. This happens when two dragons hatch from the same egg. These twins rarely survive hatching and almost never reach adulthood, so it's rare to see one. These dragons are intelligent and rarely go after humans on their own. Of course, they aren't defenseless, having poisoned fangs in the edges of their mouth. However, they are of extremely thin hides that can easily be pierced by any sharp weapons. If you enter the Garten's jungle, keep an eye on the trees for these dragons. So, when designing this, I wanted to create a very flexible dragon. The thin hide part comes to the fact that in the games, Bittergiggle dies due to relatively low damage, considering what we see BanBan live through taking, so I decided to incorporate that into the lore. The baby dragons are each based on the experiment jesters, which I just thought would be fun. Hope you enjoyed it. Another species dwelling in the Garten, this time within the swamps, is the lawful toad dragon. Though not much to look at, these dragons have thick hides and create special projectiles in the shape of a star. They're extremely loyal to any that learn their trust and are very territorial. It is common to see them chasing away two-tone jesters that wander into their territory. They can fly only short distances but hold their breath for 20 minutes. I didn't really have any good ideas for what to do with Toaster, so you got a pretty basic design. Devilish mutant dragons are an apex predator of the Garten. These dragons can be deadly alone, yet their tendency to form packs makes them an apex predator. Some of these dragons have the ability to take on a form called a hellish form, growing in size, strength, and aggression. Luckily for any who live in or around the Garten, devilish mutant dragons are rare. They can't fly long distances, but are surprisingly fast and agile. They can survive incredible amounts of damage that would be fatal for many other species, making them incredibly hard to kill. They can go years without food while in hibernation. They can spit small bursts of fire, but luckily the fireballs produced are small and have a short range. They're extremely dangerous, and it is advised never to approach. Each of these dragons are designed around Flumbo, Bambolina, and BanBan. With them all being so similar, I thought it would be a good idea to just make them into one species rather than making 3 different individual species for them. I decided to make them pack hunters due to the fact that in Garten of BanBan 0, BanBan will often refer to himself as the leader of the group and stuff, so I thought it would be a fun little thing to that. The part about them being very hard to kill is a reference to the amount of damage BanBan takes in the game without dying. So, hope you enjoyed. I may eventually do another version with their hellish forms being the drawing, but until then, hope you enjoyed this. Within the Garten's giant forest lived the Jumbo Dragon. So far, only green dragons have been recorded, but there have been rumors of other colors. They eat mostly vegetation, but are happy to eat meat when the opportunity arises. Luckily, their large size means they aren't too stealthy, but make sure not to get too close. I just gave Jumbo Josh a pretty simple design. I incorporated the part about the other colors, considering we hear about Jumbo Josh's siblings but never see them. The bird monsters of the Garten, called sharpbeaks, come in two variants. Most sharpbeaks are lesser sharpbeaks. They are unable to fly, but are equipped with sharp beaks, hence their name, and talons, and can jump very high. They form lifelong bonds and are very protective of their chicks. However, 1 in 1,000 chicks hatches to grow into a greater sharpbeak. These greater birds have the ability to fly and are far stronger and more aggressive. All sharpbeaks are very territorial and live on the grassy plains of the Garten. Occasionally, people can tame one, and they will allow them to ride on their backs. Usually only males are tamed due to their more mild temperament. Just make sure you stay away from their chicks if you ever encounter them. So I wanted to incorporate both Little Beak in their giant form along with the normal Opila and Taro birds and their chicks. So I decided to create a sort of situation similar to the How to Train Your Dragon Screaming Deaths and Whispering Deaths, where one might hatch to grow into a different version. Hope you enjoyed. We're at the end of the video. Well, approaching it. Stick around to see the final product if you want. I hope you enjoyed this video. I may make more eventually. So just overall, I hope you enjoyed.